very quickly, when they get the sense that you're really listening to them, that you really like the way they think, or that you are eager to know what they think, and that you care, their opinion matters to you, on the subject, not their opinion of you, but their opinions on a subject matter, then they will do anything for you, because that's what they're craving.
You're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days, and you're going to have days where you just feel very frustrated. But if you just start every day, say to yourself, this is going to be a good day. Go in with a smile, give the kids some pats on the back, and say to yourself and to your students, we have a lot to learn today and we're going to do it, and we're going to have a good time doing it.
Don't expect to feel like you're good at anything until you've been doing it for at least 3 years.
I'd say probably first thing I would tell if I was giving new teachers advice, straight out the box, I'd say number one, dress professionally.
A mentor teacher who's been doing it a while.
I would suggest starting with at least something in the extracurricular field so that you can see the whole picture, because there's more to the teaching than just in the classroom.
Make sure you have firm grasp on classroom management. And if you've got that and you feel confident in that, then the rest will be much easier.
Fundraising, where we needed to put on a dog and pony show because the school wasn't being properly funded to begin with by the state or by the county level. Things that often I didn't have a lot of taste for.
If you don't have the parents on your side, you're fighting an uphill battle.
There are a lot of you who teach your students that there's something bad about science fiction or romance or westerns or whatever genre it is that they want to read. Oh, can't you write something good? And for you as English teachers, if you have never read science fiction, you're not educated. If you have not read fantasy, you don't know what you're doing. Because when you disdain their reading choices, you're not getting them to stop reading it, except in a few cases. Basically, you're getting them to stop listening to you. Nathaniel Hawthorne is a historical curiosity that should be studied only in grad school by people who are determined to know what it was that we polluted our literature with for all these years. Now, some of you I can see are already going, well, I don't have to listen to him. I love Hawthorne. You only love Hawthorne because you were made to. Yeah, the only time you write well is when you write something you care about and believe in. You want it to still be about something they care about. So, it's more work for the teacher to allow them some freedom of topic and to work with them and talk to them about finding topics that they want to write about. But at the same time, it pays off. You get so much better writing from them when they care. Another piece of advice that teachers give that I have to unteach as quickly as possible. Write what you know. Well, they don't know anything. If you want to write well, don't write what you know. Know what you write. If you tell them only to write what they know, then you're forbidding them to write what they dream. They're all good at persuading. They all know how to talk their friends into seeing this movie instead of that movie. They all know how to make a case. They all know how to speak fluently. The language is natural to them. The secret is to unleash that in writing and on a topic of more substance than the normal ones in their life. But eventually, see, with English, when we teach English, too many times we try to teach it as if we were trying to teach digging without dirt. That we try to teach the manner of it when the manner is dictated by the subject. So we're actually, as English teachers, we are teaching all subjects. And when you want somebody to read something and love reading it, you have to let the author and the reader converse. And if you interfere with that, have them doing writing journals or
read this with this particular theme in mind, or search for the theme, then you make it a dishonest process. You are making it so that they are on your errand instead of transacting properly with the author. So they don't learn what reading is. They aren't reading. They're on a scavenger hunt, and you assign them what they're supposed to do.
The thing you do right, and I see this over and over again, is I get student after student who says, I love reading. I love writing because of this teacher, that teacher, that teacher. If I ever write a book with a theme, my career is over. I write a book with 1,000 themes, all of them inadvertent. What I write are stories. If you want them to write, there is only one draft of fiction. Only one. Then you have the injured draft. Then you have the killed draft. Because each successive draft of the same story that just fiddles and fixes kills it a little more. Fiction cannot compete with movies for description. In the 19th century, you had to have description. You were building pictures in people's minds. You don't build it anymore. They'll tune out. They'll go to sleep. What the story is what happens in what? A motive, character. That's your story. Relationships between people. But not description. It's a waste of time. When will you ever in the real world need to be able to write a paragraph of description? You want to describe something to somebody, you pick up your phone, hold it up, click, and send it to them. My sophomore English teacher at Mesa High School. She's since passed away. And unfortunately, by the time I dedicated a book to her, she already had Alzheimer's disease. I did not realize it, of course. I would have dedicated a book to her much sooner. But, so she never knew how much she meant in my life. But she believed in me. She thought I had something special. And she taught with love and verve. And so even though she made me read some of those books that I would curse you for making students read, nevertheless, she made me love reading because she loved it so much herself. And because she loved the reader in me.
Most important thing I've found that really isn't in the books is to treat the students with respect, especially when they don't deserve it. Now there are times when you have to treat them like children, when they're not fulfilling assignments, but even that should be done with a kind of regret that you have to deal with them this way, because it's not the way you want to. Too many teachers are so experienced, they know demographically speaking what students are going to be like, that they treat students who have not yet earned that lack of respect with that lack of respect. If you treat students as if their ideas matter, as if they're not all ignorant, which they are, of course, but as if they actually know something, and you care about finding out what they think, they know. You can't fake it. Well, you can, but only up to a point.